morning, welcome to Morning Expresso. You're watching Indian Express. I'm Charulata Biswas. This is a power-packed morning bulletin. Let's begin with the big story of the day. A three-judge bench led by the Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court will now hear the batch of petitions challenging the ban on the use of hijab in a few pre-university colleges in the state. On Wednesday, a single-judge bench of the court had decided to refer the pleas to a larger bench, saying the case involved larger constitutional issues. Significantly, the constitution of a larger bench is contrary to the Karnataka High Court rules, which prescribe that a reference to a full bench can be made only by a two-judge bench. The larger bench hearing also takes away a layer of intra-court appeal. We continue to track the hijab controversy here at Indian Express and bring you the latest on this. Here are the stories you'll find only in Indian Express. New Delhi and Colombo are discussing a proposal for the supply of two Dornier aircraft for the Sri Lankan military. The Indian Express spoke with Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister G.L. Paris, where he said that there is a proposal for the purchase of two Dornier aircraft, but there is no finality, nothing has been agreed upon. Let's have a look at the front page. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, referring to allegations that central agencies such as ED and CBI harass opposition leaders during election time, said, "In Hindustan, there are always elections, so should the government stop working?" The Prime Minister also shared his solution during the interview that was one nation, one election. He said, then ED or CBI won't be conspicuous at all. Meanwhile, a parliamentary panel headed by Congress leader Shashi Tharoor has questioned senior officials of the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting on the revocation of the broadcast license of Malayalam news channel Media One over security concerns. Details of House panel proceedings are not disclosed on the ground that it is privileged information. Moving on, according to the NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau data, the first pandemic year 2020 saw the highest number of suicides among the unemployed in the recent past, with the toll crossing the 3,000 mark for the first time. The highest number of suicides among the unemployed in 2020 was reported from Karnataka, that reported 720 suicides, followed by Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Assam and Uttar Pradesh, that has reported 227 suicides so far. Here are the must-reads. For around 2 nights and a day, 23-year-old R. Babu perched precariously on the edge of a small cavity on the side of 1,000 feet high Kurumbachi Hill as the whole of Kerala waited with bated breath for him to be rescued. After several failed attempts by the NDRF and Coast Guard, the army was called in to save the boy. And on Wednesday morning, Babu was lifted out of the cavity and to the top of the hill, from where a chopper airlifted him to the district hospital safely. While the hijab controversy continues to brew, we bring you a story from Assam. Some Muslim students at Juria High School find themselves in a similar quandary, caught between the duty to their families and religious beliefs to wear the hijab and the school rules. Begum, a class 9 student, says it would be much less hassle if the hijab was allowed in school, but adds, rules are rules, our teachers have a point too. Another student says she feels bad since the hijab is a part of her identity. And next, Pranitha Shetty, a professor at Mangalore University, writes on how classrooms must celebrate diversity instead of imposing dress code. She writes, this inclusive nature of the classroom space is one of its greatest contributions to the process of learning. It is this accommodation of the variety of social locations from which our students come that has contributed to the civil discussions and debates and conversations through which the process of thinking is initiated. You can read the article on Indian Express. Alright, moving on. In this week's Explain Speaking Economy newsletter, Udit Mishra takes a look at how poll-bound states compare on unemployment among the youth, educated and women. Data show that UP is far behind the national average on all 3 counts and has seen a sharp decline over the last 5 years. Meanwhile, while youth employment rates in Punjab are much better than the national average, the fact remains that they have been coming down over the past 5 years. And Bhojpuri artist Neha Singh Rathor's videos listing the many problems that plague her home state Bihar and neighboring Uttar Pradesh rattled the state government and made her the subject of vicious trolling. Friends have been urging her not to step out alone and to keep her face covered, but the 24-year-old says she is done being afraid. Her aim is simple: to show the world that Bhojpuri songs are more than just blouse hooks and Lanka strings. And in today's Delhi Confidential, we talk about a health and fitness enthusiast himself. The Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya's latest initiative is a canteen in the ministry that serves nutritious and healthy food options. On the first day, the canteen served moong dal chila with peas. Significantly, an additional secretary will oversee the daily menu. And finally, leaving you with the latest episode of the Three Things podcast, where we discuss the unemployment crisis in poll-bound states, the GNU VC controversy, and the Hyundai row. That's a news wrap from my end. For the latest updates, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Indian Express. Thank you for watching.